Hi, I'm Ben from Maden Solutions. I'm the director here, and I'm going to talk to you about the funnel. And I guarantee if you watch this through to the end, you're going to get a really good handle on how the funnel works and how you can use it to model the interactions of your visitors right the way through the journey, the customer journey they're going to go through to become real customers and spending money with you. So the first thing to think about when it comes to the funnel is how is the diagram put together, right? So this diagram, we're just going to talk about in general terms, we've put it together thinking about the inquiry point. Could be sales, could be leads. We're going to talk about leads, I guess, most at the moment. And that's marked by this green box down the bottom of the funnel. That's the point at which somebody transitions from being a visitor on your website right the way through to being a customer. And what we're looking at is the bottom of the funnel, where people are expressing keywords that have high intent that they want to transact. So it's worth thinking about the keywords as we move up the funnel to people in the middle of the funnel. They could well have some mid-level, some mixed kind of intent about what they're looking for. They could be comparing you with other brands, comparing your product with other options. And we look at that and sort of term that consideration, where somebody's thinking about purchasing something and they're just working out which one are they going to purchase. But the really important factor that we want to really think about is that these people who are expressing intent have basically decided that they're going to part with some money, and they're just working out whether you're the one to get the money or not. And as we move further up the funnel, you've got top of funnel. Yep, these people aren't even necessarily going to be customers yet. So these are fairly general kind of keywords. Maybe people looking for DIY or tips where they're going to do it themselves. And those people out of the top, they may well never purchase from you, but they provide an opportunity to get in front of your potential customers very early on in their decision-making cycle, right? So they've had some triggering experience that's made them think, yeah, okay, I should think about buying one of those products. And they do some general information searches, and then they're visiting your website. Over off to the right hand side, we're thinking about brand voice. So brand voice is something that we're very passionate here at Maden Solutions about brand voice. We get all of our clients to think about how they say things, what they say, what kind of language do they say, and also what their brand would never say. There are particular things that, you know, sort of typify what it is that the brand would say to you if it was a person. Now, once that's clearly understood and written down, documented, then you can actually take that and say, well, that's our standard. That's what we're going to use to create content. And then each of these columns, they determine who our customers are. Now let's pick out an example, right? I'm going to talk about drones today. So we're going to talk about two different separate personas. Persona A, that's a hobbyist. That's somebody who's interested in remote controlled aircraft. They've probably got some planes, maybe they've had a helicopter in the past, and you know, they've spent a bit of money on them, and that person knows that friends or people who have bought drones, and they know they can buy them from a website from China or whatever for a few $100s. Now that person is going to be searching quite different sort of terms than our second persona, Persona B, and we're going to call that person Audi Guy. Why do we call him Audi Guy? Well, because the persona that we're picking out and looking at there is somebody who's going to buy probably quite a high-end drone, a lot more expensive, and it's a different opportunity. If we've got a website and we're selling drones, then we're going to have a different product range. We're going to have these low-end ones, we're going to have the high-end ones. What we want to do is make sure that we're targeting content to the right people with the right keywords. And when we've done our keyword research and we know that somebody's looking for a low-cost drone entry point, and we know what kind of pricing they're looking for, we know that's the hobbyist. And we can write a piece of content using our brand voice, addressing that hobbyist, who we can do some research and find out who they are, how old they are, what other interests have they got, and we can target what they're actually interested in and use the keywords that we've identified that they're probably going to use. Now, a lot of this stuff is assumption, but these are all assumptions that we can test and measure over time, and we can improve the overall marketing by revisiting these bits of content and looking at the data that Google Analytics gives us to make it better. So one of the things that we like to do is build the funnel and the content that goes into the funnel from the bottom up. So a hobbyist may have already done all sorts of research and be very keen on buying a specific brand, specific model of drone. They know what they want. So buy drone X online, that could well be exactly what they're looking for. And if you've got a really good piece of content about that drone and you're able to rank well, or you're running Google Ads, you can actually get that person to visit the website at that high intent moment. And as long as you've got a good price compared to other people, then it's very likely that they're going to make a purchase, right? So you're getting revenue out of that piece of content. And as we build up from there, we'd have a look at something where maybe they're not set on a particular drone that they want at that point, maybe just best low-cost drones, something that, you know, they're still comparing which model of drone they're going to buy. And then that person, maybe earlier in their buying experience, we can build that back up again and say, well, at the top of the funnel, they're looking at how they would learn to fly a drone. You know, what are the processes they would go through? How would they take their skills that they've already got? And we're assuming that they've flown radio-controlled aircraft before. How do we take them from that experience and we help them understand and learn how to fly drones, and, you know, whether they're going to enjoy it, for example. And we can address those emotional points through the content and talk about it in terms of the brand voice. So we're using the idea of the content, that's what we're going to say. We've got the brand voice that tells us how to say it. We've also got the keywords from the keyword research about which words we're going to use. And then we've also got who we're talking to. And we know that it's that particular person. And as we build up the funnel, it's like building a wall, building a block, building a set of information. And then we go back and look with data to see whether people are interacting with it, whether it's leading to conversions, whether people that land on that piece of content first off ever end up purchasing. And as you build out the website and make it richer and richer, you can add more personas, you can add more topics. You can even start off by creating content, say top of funnel, that would bridge multiple personas. That's okay, right? That works too. Because they may have this very same question, and you might not want to create two bits of content with the same subject, because Google's not going to be able to take the keyword and differentiate who the persona is, right? So if it's how to fly a drone, that piece of content might cover both persona A and persona B. So I hope that's been useful in terms of how to understand how this funnel is built, what its purpose is in terms of mapping out what work you need to do to create a content marketing plan. And I hope you understand now that once you follow a methodical approach like this, you can test and measure, and you can improve the content that's presented to people so that each piece of content can draw that visitor deeper down through the funnel to that transaction point, so that they either get in touch, as a lead gen website would want them to, or you can get them to make a purchase for e-commerce. So I hope you found that useful. If you have, please comment, let us know what you're working on, maybe ask us some questions. My team and I are more than happy to jump on and answer questions in the comments here. Smash that like button and hit the subscribe, because we've got loads more videos just like this coming up. Thanks very much.